Very thankful that some of these stories are going viral. This is one of those stories that did go viral, not only because it's a story of a missing child and what happened to his mom, but where they ultimately found this child is really, I think, the thing that captured people's attention. They wanted justice. I'm very thankful that platforms like ours, the news, and other people thought that this story was that important to talk about and spread it and make it go viral. Let's continue to keep that thing going. Let me give you guys a quick disclaimer before we start so you'll know what type of content that you're getting into. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. Now, note lately I've been giving Texas a lot of L's, but Florida, y'all going to have to take the L this time, yet again. St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm getting this information from Fox13newsnow.com, so thank you for the article. Excuse me, Fox13news.com. I just added some extra in there. The missing 2-year-old, who was the subject of a statewide Amber Alert, has been found dead in an area near Dale Holmes Park, investigators said. Now, here's what's new. The child's father, who has been identified by authorities as Thomas Mosley. I think I have his picture in here. Let me make sure. Yes. Look, guys, I know y'all don't like me to talk about people's looks. If you were to hear this story and then see this picture, you'd have to ask yourself, does this not look like the face of a man who would do something like this? I just think that it fits. It's just like sometimes when you put the shoe on, it fits. When you stereotype a person, sometimes it fits, okay? The child's father, who's been identified as Thomas Mosley, will be arrested on 2 counts of first-degree murder in both Taylon Mosley and the 2-year-old's mother, Passion Jeffries' deaths. Now, the mother on the right-hand side of the screen, I don't mean any disrespect, but her name, Passion, is spelled P-A-S-H-U-N. Another one of those unique urban names. I digress. I might not like it personally, but it is what it is. I mean, no disrespect to the family, to the deceased mother, but it's just a unique way of naming our people. St. Petersburg Police Chief Anthony Holloway said that the St. Pete police officers who had been in Dale Holmes Park all afternoon spotted an alligator. Please hear this, ladies and gentlemen. An alligator. That's why there was a picture of an alligator. I don't think this is the exact one, but alligators get pretty damn big. Where is it at? Look at that. And these things are in these wetland areas like crazy. I've seen them walk across golf courses. I've seen them like climb over fences. I'd be scared to live in Florida with that many alligators around. They spotted an alligator with an object in its mouth. Detectives got closer to the alligator, which was in Lake Magri, and fired a shot at it. I wonder why they do that if they weren't sure what it was. Once the alligator released it, authorities said they retrieved 2-year-old Taylon's body intact. Chief Holloway did confirm the alligator died. So they shot and killed the alligator. So they ended up figuring this out after the fact, which I believe that's correct. I could be wrong, unless I read it wrong, unless they wrote the article wrong. Taylon's body was found several miles from his home, according to police. They're still working on to confirm the cause of death, because I can almost guarantee you the alligator didn't kill him. The alligator probably came in and tried to consume this baby's body after the baby was murdered and tossed into the river, or died because he was tossed into the river. Just really sad. We didn't want to find him this way, but at least we can bring some closure to the family now, said Chief Holloway. Again, there's emotions up and down because they're investigating. They were following leads, and they're hoping that they could find him alive, which obviously they did not. Chief Holloway confirmed this in a Friday evening press conference. He also said Jeffrey, who was found dead in her apartment, Passion Jeffrey, the mom, was found at Lincoln Shore Apartments, and she had been stabbed multiple times. Now, I don't know if they say it here. It doesn't look like they do. Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me show you something. Like Jim Carrey would say. Give me a moment here. The mother was stabbed. Where is it at? "100 times. I'm finding that information on a website called WFLA.com. If you don't like me reporting that as accurate information, go to their website. It says St. Pete mother stabbed over 100 times. Let me see if I can get the rest of the article pulled up here. Hold on. Before toddler was thrown into the lake, according to an affidavit. Mother stabbed over 100 times before toddler was thrown in the lake. Now, it didn't specify whether he was dead before he was thrown in the lake or after. I don't even think that part about it even really matters that much. Besides, we'll find out in court. 100 times. Do y'all know what we call that? For people who've been watching my channel for a long time, when a person can commit an act like that, thank you. Somebody in the chat called it. It was personal. That is called, what do they call it? It's a specific thing that they call it. It's impassioned, and it's an impassioned rage. What I forget what's the term. I'll remember it here in a second. I'm having a brain fart. It's an act of rage. I forget what it's called, but it's very, very personal because it takes a lot of energy, a lot of strength, and a lot of hate in a person's heart to show that in their actions. A crime of passion. That's what I'm looking for. A crime of passion. 100 times he stabbed this woman. Look, I'm going to tell you guys this. Let me tell you guys something. Just to be real. Thank you. I've been mad at women I've had relationships with. I've been mad at women I've had children with. I've had them be disrespectful. I've had women I've dealt with in general. Maybe not baby mamas, so let me X that out. But I've had women in general say things about me that weren't true. Say things about me that could have got me hurt. Said some real nasty things about me. Yes, you get mad. And you might think you want to do some things. You can't act on this. You can't behave this way. Nor can you justify doing this for any reason. It's inexcusable. Anything less than life in prison or the death penalty for this man would be uncivilized, to be real. There's no reason for this man to be using our oxygen anymore, for this man to be eating meals off of the county dime, for taxpayers to be paying for him to stay alive. I don't see the point of that. Not only for what you did to the mom was a grown person. The mom got out overpowered by this man dealing with this crazy man. As a matter of fact, can we get a hashtag when you date thugs, you date death? Is this not something we talk about on my channel all the time? That's a phrase that I've coined. It's a hashtag that I created to signify to ladies that I care about y'all, but I think y'all are making very dumb choices. You're making dumb choices for boyfriends. You're making very dumb choices who you're making children with, and you're making very dumb choices who you're bringing your children around. I think that's a fair statement. I don't think that's harsh, and I think anybody who has some self-respect would understand where I'm coming from. Because the number one thing that we need to do is we need to advocate for our children first. Put your children first. Put the kids first, and then ask yourself, did this person cause this child to be in this level of danger? And the answer is yes, because adults, we are the ones who have to have the discernment, think these situations out, and say, would this pose a danger to my kid? You can't foresee everything, But if you know a person has a criminal record, if you know a person that has threatened you before, if you know a person that has whooped your ass before, huh? If you know a person don't have a job, not doing something productive with their life, I'm just sorry. This man just looks like the face of a person who don't have a job or a future. Tell me if I'm wrong. Like he just looks like somebody that just don't have a purpose in life. But they're always are the first ones to get girlfriends, always the first ones to the table when it comes to having sex. Is it a desperation thing? Is it a self-esteem thing? Regardless of if it's something emotional, I think we have to start making more logical choices about who we are dealing with when it comes to these relationships. That's the message that I really want to extend from this story. I can skip some of this and just say that they're working to confirm his cause of death. They found his body several miles from the home. Chief Holloway confirmed on a Friday news conference, said that Jeffrey, who was found dead in her apartments at Lincoln Shore Apartments, had been stabbed multiple times, which we just found out was about 100 times of being stabbed. The St. Peter mother of a missing toddler had been living at Lincoln Shore Apartments for about a month before she was found dead, her family told reporters. Her 2-year-old boy was last seen Wednesday afternoon, which prompted the Amber Alert. They described Jeffrey as someone who always tried to make people smile. They're talking about the mom. She liked to tell jokes and would try to rap for fun. Passion, the mother, was also outspoken. Thomas Mosley, the guy who caused her death, was named a person of interest Friday morning. Police noted that they didn't believe the child was with him and he refused to talk to detectives. Chief Holloway did say the father is still in the hospital and has asked for an attorney. I'm not going to go with this timeline. You guys can actually go to their website and follow this timeline. I don't really feel the need to read all of that, because it's a lot. So let me go ahead and give you guys the fair usage, and let me let you hear the news stories, because there's a few of them that we need to get to. So here we go. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And for those watching this story, if y'all would do me a favor and hit that thumbs up, it'll share this video so more people can see it and notify more of our subscribers. So if y'all will, please hit that thumbs up, because we want to have one thumb up for everybody watching. So here we go. Let's get it.
St. Petersburg, Florida police chief announcing that with great sadness, the body of Talon Mosley has been found, that 2-year-old boy who was missing for some time. His father now is being charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Let's listen to the chief announce this very, very sad news in this brief press conference that was held just moments ago.
It's with great sadness I have to inform you here today that Talon's body has been found. It is my condolences going out to the family and to his loved ones. We are sorry that it had to end this way. Through investigative technique, we were able to find an area around Delhome Park that led the investigators to that area. The detectives had been there all afternoon, and while they were there, they were spotted an alligator with an object in his mouth. As the detectives got closer, they fired one round to the alligator. The alligator dropped the object that he had in his mouth, and we were able to retrieve Talon's body intact. The father, Thomas Mosley, is now being charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. I can tell you now that Talon's mom, Miss Jeffries, her body was stabbed multiple times. Until the medical examiner has a chance to look at Talon's body, we cannot tell you the cause of death. I would like to thank all the law enforcement agencies that assisted us today, or since Wednesday, and a special thanks to our detectives here at St. Pete Police Department. These men and women have worked hard. I'm going to skip through some of this, but I'm going to try to let him get through most of his press conference. So maybe like another minute or two. Since Wednesday at 2:30, trying to find Taylor, hoping for Taylor for a better outcome. But again, that didn't happen. Needless to say, tomorrow we don't need the volunteers to come out to assist us in looking for Taylor, but I just want to again thank everybody for volunteering to come out to help us. With that, remember this is an ongoing investigation, so I will try to answer some of your questions.
Chief, after almost 2 days of looking for little Taylor, I know you've had so many crews on the ground searching, brought in, all hands on deck, like you said. I mean, this has got to be tough for your team to, see things end like this after all your hard work.
It's very tough because these men and women, again, since Wednesday at 2:30, they've been working tirelessly trying to find Taylor. And we didn't want to find him this way, but at least we can bring some closure to that family now. Again, there's emotions up and down because as they're doing investigating, they're following up the leads that we were hoping that we could find him alive. So.
Right now, breaking news on News Channel 8.
The alligator dropped the object that he had in his mouth, and we were able to retrieve Taylor's body intact.
An unthinkable outcome to the search for this little boy. Tonight's shock and grief for a St. Petersburg family. Good evening, I'm Keith Kate.
I'm Jennifer Lee. Thank you for joining us. In the last few hours, we have learned that awful news that 2-year-old Taylor has died. The search began 48 hours ago when his mother was found brutally murdered in their apartment. Taylor's body was found tonight at Dell Holmes Park, several miles from where he and his mother lived. The boy's father now faces 2 murder charges.
News Channel 8's Trevor Sahaki is joining us live from the park tonight. Trevor, I know you were there when the chief gave this update. Just terrible news to share with everyone.
Yeah, Keith, unfortunately, this is the outcome no one wanted to see. Police said their investigation led them here to Lake Magary, where they had been searching all day and finally found young Taylor just a few hours ago. Family of both Taylor Mosley and Passion Jeffrey are grieving tonight after Taylor was found dead.
There's my condolences going out to the family and to his loved ones. We are sorry that it had to end this way.
St. Pete Police Chief Anthony Holloway said detectives saw an alligator with an object in its mouth at Dell Holmes Park. That's across town from the apartment where Jeffrey was stabbed to death.
They fired one round to the alligator. The alligator dropped the object that he had in his mouth, and we were able to retrieve Taylor's body intact.
Taylor's father, Thomas Mosley, is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder for both Taylor and Passion's deaths.
We didn't want to find him this way, but at least we can bring...
And let me give credit to the chat. Somebody in the chat actually just called something that was very important. If the police had not gotten there in the time that they did, there might not have been a body to find with these hungry alligators that were literally just taking advantage of what they thought was a meal in the water. So there might not have been a body to find. So we were very lucky to have that. And they said his body was intact. So it's just scary to think about that.
Closure to that family now.
Earlier today, that family spoke about mother and son.
He's always calling his mom on his cell phone.
Yeah, always.
He misses his mom. They call each other all the time. She really loves Taylor.
Police don't know how Taylor got to the lake or the cause of death for the toddler.
We just want to say that Taylor is a beautiful little boy. And he's really loving and caring.
According to Chief Holloway, Thomas Mosley is still in the hospital. Police said Wednesday, the last time Passion and Taylor were seen alive, was Mosley's 21st birthday. And Chief Holloway said that while he appreciated everyone coming out and trying to help find young Taylor, of course, that's no longer necessary now.
Okay. It's with great sadness I have to inform you here today that Taylor's body has been found.
So this one's a little bit louder. This is going to be kind of short, though.
Is my condolences going out to the family and to his loved ones. We are sorry that it had to end this way. Through investigative technique, we were able to find an area around Dell Holmes Park that led investigators to that area. The detectives had been there all afternoon, and while they were there, they were spotted an alligator with an object in his mouth. As the detectives got closer, they fired one round to the alligator. The alligator dropped the object that he had in his mouth, and we were able to retrieve Taylon's body intact. The father, Thomas Mosley, is now being charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder.
So this was the child's dad. This was the father, and apparently the biological father. Isn't that something?
I can tell you now that Taylon's mom, Ms. Jeffries, her body was stabbed multiple times.
100 times.
Until the medical examiner has a chance to look at Taylon's body, we cannot tell you the cause of death. I would like to thank all the law enforcement agencies that assisted us today or since Wednesday, and a special thanks to our detectives here at St. Pete Police Department. These men and women have worked tirelessly since Wednesday at 2:30 trying to find Taylor, hoping for Taylor for a better outcome. But again, that didn't happen. Needless to say, tomorrow we don't need the volunteers to come out to assist us in looking for Taylor, but I just want to again thank everybody for volunteering to come out to help us. With that, remember this is an ongoing investigation.
And that was weird. Then they cut the volume down on the video. But let me say this in closing. Again, please, ladies, I say this with love. I say this with respect to the family and for everybody listening. This is why it is so important to be more careful about who you date, who you procreate with, to know the background of a person. Do a background check and don't be afraid of that. If that person makes it difficult for you or makes you feel threatened or makes you feel like you're a bad person for wanting to check on their record to find out what they actually have been charged with, or maybe if they're on the run or whatever, if they got warrants or whatever the case is, that's probably a good indicator, no matter how much you love them, how many jokes they tell you, how much swag they got on, how many pieces of jewelry they had on, how fly they was looking when you saw them, or how much you wanted this person. I don't believe it's worth your life, and I don't believe that it's worth your child's life. And I wish that we would value ourselves and have more, not only self-awareness, but self-esteem. That's the word I'm looking for. More self-esteem about ourselves to just date better, make better choices. And that has to start off when we're kids. We have to raise good babies in order to be good adults. And we have to have the mother and father household intact to do so. We're going to end up continuing to have this horrible cycle, this horrible pattern of just unstable creatures that should have never have had opportunities to be around children until we fix that and plug it up. Okay? Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Again, I agree with the people in the chat. They say this could have been a blessing in disguise to be able to find this baby's body intact because they might not have been able to do it. But thank you guys so much. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thank you.